Welcome to this edition of RiskX News Review. In this edition, South West Water is fined after a worker drowns, we look at the increasing use of drones in health and safety management, and a cable manufacturer is fined after a worker loses a finger. The tragic death of a South West Water worker in 2013 has highlighted the risks of lone working and the importance of assessing a work area along with the processes involved in a regular task. Robert Geach was working on the sand filtration unit of the Falmouth Wastewater Treatment Works in December 2013 when a colleague found him face down in the water. He'd been working alone for several hours and was discovered by his colleague, who was responding under a lone worker system. The HSE investigation found that the company had failed to identify the risk of drowning with the regular maintenance task undertaken by Mr. Geach and his colleagues. They also identified that the tragedy could have been prevented if the size of the access hatch to the sand filters had been reduced, as well as an acknowledgement of how dangerously close workers were to the water. South West Water pleaded guilty to a criminal safety breach and were fined £1.8 million plus over £41,000 in costs. Since the event, South West Water have made changes to working practices and their lone working system. Drones have recently become one of the must-have gadgets for anyone interested in making movies, and commercially they are increasingly being used for the collection of health and safety information. There are restrictions for drone use regarding training and commercial licences, privacy and no-flight areas, but where possible, drone film footage now brings visibility to areas previously inaccessible other than by light aircraft or helicopters, both of which are impacted by bad weather. Taking the construction industry as an example, safety inspections of an entire construction or demolition site using a drone give a bird's eye view in real time, saving time and expense, even in bad weather. This reduces the risk of inspectors working at height, also meaning they can cover large areas and speed up the inspection process. Although drone footage is not permissible by law to check up on employees, it is thought that drones on site can act as a deterrent to workers cutting corners and help to ensure that work is carried out to the highest and safest standards. Thanks to the presence of a drone, the risk of accidents may be reduced. If and when they do occur, the drone can easily be used to identify what happened and help to determine how to prevent another incident. In hazardous areas, such as where there may be asbestos or in the event of a fire, using a drone to survey an area gives vital information without endangering human health. Drone film footage can also be easily uploaded to AssessNET, our health and safety management system, either as a YouTube film link or as a movie file. These files are then linked directly to the relevant assessments, meaning the information is easily accessible for further analysis and future reference. Remember, drone use has very strict controls and training requirements, so do your research thoroughly before you go ahead. Cable manufacturing company AEI Cables Limited in Berkeley, County Durham, has been fined £40,000 after a worker lost a finger in machinery. During the cable-making process in September 2015, the worker put his left hand into an unguarded machine where it encountered dangerous moving parts of the machinery. As a result, the worker lost his left little finger and received serious lacerations to the other fingers on the same hand. An investigation by the HSE discovered that there was no guarding in place to prevent access to the dangerous parts of the machinery. HSE Inspector Victoria Crofton said, "This injury was easily prevented and the risk should have been identified. Employers should make sure they properly assess and apply effective control measures to minimise the risk from dangerous parts of machinery." AEI Cables Limited pleaded guilty and was fined £40,000 plus costs. This distressing case highlights the importance of identifying work process risks, introducing corrective measures and ensuring that the measures are followed. That's all for this edition of RiskX News Review. If you have any stories or topics you'd like us to cover in future, do get in touch. Thanks for watching.